I am literally filming this in between commercial breaks of The Flash. Let's do this. Hi, this is Ashley and I'm here for my review of The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson, which was my March pick of the month. The Kiss of Deception is a YA fantasy about a girl who is about to be married off to another kingdom, and she is a princess. She is the first daughter, and she has never met this man that she is going to marry, and she's afraid of this, and so she runs away. After running away, two people end up coming after her, the prince and an assassin. Each are trying to get to know who this girl is that ran away from this marriage, and we as the reader do not know who exactly is which of the two guys that she ends up meeting in this story. That was the real hook that really got me into reading this book. So in case you were wondering, I ended up giving this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I liked The Kiss of Deception, but I never quite fell in love. There were parts where I was really invested in the story and what was going on, and then there were others, especially towards the end, when I didn't quite care as much. I think a large part of this had to do with some of the issues that I had going into the story, and the first one is that I don't really like stories of people running away from their duty. And yes, I understand that she wanted to marry somebody for love and all that sorts of stuff, and she was not in a good position, but I also lose some sympathy automatically when a character just decides, hey, I don't like this situation, so they just run off and saddle everybody else with all the problems. But the good thing about this story is that it did address that, in that we found out the real fallout from what her actions did and ended up causing trouble for both her family and her nation and pretty much the whole continent that she lives on, all because of her actions. The other thing that didn't quite jibe well with me was the fact that I wanted her to be with a very specific character. I'm not going to give away who she ended up with and which character was which was the prince, which was the assassin. But I can't lie and not tell you that I just didn't end up liking it. I wanted it to go a certain way and it just didn't, and I do want to see more of where things will go, but I wasn't completely thrilled by it. As a character, the main character, she was interesting, but she didn't stick with me. I just read this and finished it a couple days ago, and I already can't remember her name. I do remember the two guy characters, Caden and Rafe, and I did enjoy them a little bit more, especially as they both started to get fleshed out a bit more, though I wish their chapters were a little bit longer and had more to them. As for the plot, like I said, it for the most part worked for me until it got towards the end. It really started to drag and we really didn't get a whole lot of new developments. It was really just one character chasing down another while another character was trying to accomplish another goal, and it really never built. It was kind of like a next stage, but it just wasn't as interesting as the earlier parts when we were really getting to know the characters a little bit more and what they were willing to do. Another thing that I really want to point out is this cover. As you can see on the cover, the girl is blonde. She's very clearly blonde. Yet, from the description of the book, the main character actually has Leah. That's her name. The main character, Leah, has dark hair, as did her brother. And they made a note of this a couple of times. And so I was just like, why would they put a blonde on the cover? In fact, the way that the descriptions were made, it was really interesting to see, because I got the impression that she actually might have been Hispanic, yet this is not a Hispanic girl. So yeah, that's kind of what I got the impression from while I was reading this story. Also, I really want to show you the gorgeous map. It is fantastic. It is just a wonderful map in pretty much every way. So I'm not going to give anything away from the story, but I mean, you could potentially consider this a spoiler. I don't know if this plays a factor in the later books, but what I found really interesting is that this is definitely a far future story, because if you didn't notice when I just showed you that map, but It is actually a US setting, so she is from the country of Morgan, which is kind of from the California area. There's a character that is from Dahlbreck, which is from like the Texas area. And then there is the country of Vinda, which is in like the Northeast. And I found that really interesting. I didn't notice it at first. There are some subtle clues in there, but it was pretty cool. Overall, I gave this story 3.5 out of 5 stars. If you've read it, why don't you let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!